Paul, we're all feeling really frustrated there because it doesn't feel like it's one we should have lost.
Um, well, unfortunately, if you have a spell like we did for, I don't even know what the timings were between the two goals, but maybe 3 or 4 minutes against a team who consistently cause you problems, um, you're not going to win games. I thought we scored a really good goal. Unfortunately, I think the linesman has been swayed for the goal is disallowed because the crowd abused him for that. But it was actually a correct decision because McGowan played Jack Ellis on by probably a minimum of 5 yards. It was definitely not offside. It was a good goal. We went in front, but then we didn't deal with a little spell after that. We give the ball away cheaply. Unfortunately, the linesman on this side, the assistant referee, has made a huge error but he's just told me there that Paul Huntington was offside, and he wasn't. He was onside. Toby wasn't offside, so the goal should have stood. But saying that, we've still, in my opinion, we've thrown that game away, and that's the disappointing. We had an opportunity here today. And we've let it slip by. And I'm not taking anything away from Northampton because they're a good side. They're in that league position for a reason because they keep asking questions. They've got legs. They've got players who cause problems. I just thought we dealt with it all. We dealt with a lot of stuff. We got ourselves into a good position, and we haven't finished it off, and we haven't been strong enough. And individual mistakes have cost us again.
How many times do we see that spell after you've scored? It is so important in a game.
Yeah, you've got to go back to basics, and that was the thing tonight. We said that the team who does the basics better will come out on top tonight, and we said at half time it's who's gonna make the mistakes, make sure we're not the ones to make mistakes, and unfortunately we have. We've done. The first goal is from the set play. We have to accept that there are times where we won't win the first contact, but everybody has a role to do. Once it goes over the near postman's head, he has to get on the post, and if they do the job, he clears the ball. Simple volley up the field. Unfortunately, we didn't do it. The second goal, we've had a throw in, we've given it away in the corner, and then it's a mistake from Hunt. We all know that it's a clear mistake, but we shouldn't be in that position. It just shouldn't happen. So there's real frustration over an assistant not doing his job properly. But I think the bigger frustration is the only one that we can do something about, is that we should have actually dealt with that game better.
What happens in those spells, Paul? Because we could see it, that 5, 6, 7 minute spell. All of a sudden, everybody's passes are going astray and everything in that little moment.
They just lose. They lose it and we lose it for that little spell, and we can't do it. And the teams that, you look at the teams who are up at the top of the league, in Orient, in Stevenage, in Northampton, they consistently ask questions and do things consistently well. Now, maybe we could say that they've been together longer, I don't really know, but there's maybe a little bit more nous in there that we don't have, that we need to try and get and try and improve on. This is a game that, I'm not trying to take anything away from Northampton, but I think we've thrown it away tonight.
I think you've revealed there that you've spoken to the officials. Is it any point in doing that at this stage of the night?
No, it doesn't make me feel any better. They're in there talking about it. I mean, I've got the sighting of it on a video, so I'm able to see that. They probably haven't yet, but I know that the officials are marked on key match incidents. Now, I'm afraid that is a key match incident. That has cost us a second goal. And I've just said to him, I am not saying for 1 minute that we'd have held on for a draw. I don't know that. I haven't got a crystal ball that I could see that. He has definitely cost us a goal there. I've seen it on the video, and the angle that I can see, Paul Huntington's not offside and Toby Silva's not offside. It's a legitimate goal that's been chalked off. And as I say, my opinion is he's been swayed by a small crowd in the far corner there who abused him for the first one, which he didn't give offside, but it was a correct decision because McGowan played Jack Ellis on, so it should have stood. But again, I'm going to say it, we've cost ourselves in a 5-minute spell or whatever the timing was, and we haven't got to grip with the game. We haven't consistently done the thing that we've done for other periods of the game. Sadly, it cost you.
And we saw again, particularly the last 15 minutes, we're getting into such good areas, aren't we? You just think, come on, one of them, make the pass, make the finish.
Yeah, and one of them did, and Toby scored. But we had other opportunities where we didn't quite get on the end of it and didn't quite get the right delivery in there. there's all sorts of ifs and buts. It's a really strange feeling tonight because I really hadn't got a clue what we were going to be like tonight after not playing for such a long period. And yesterday's the first time we've been on grass since I can't even remember when. So we've made as good as we could out of a bad situation, and I'm quite sure that John will say the same in Northampton. They've probably had the same issues, and tonight was about the team who made the fewest mistakes. Sadly, we made a few more than they did.
Does this help when we're looking towards a big game on Boxing Day to get ourselves out there on tonight and vindicate the reason for getting the game on tonight?
I know I've got no problems with getting the game on. It was the absolutely right decision, and credit to Northampton for getting the game on. But it doesn't help in any way at all because we've missed an opportunity here. We had a chance to we had a chance to go fourth in the table for a start by winning the game. We probably should have got a point out of it because of circumstances. Sadly, we haven't. So the only thing we can do now is make sure we're ready for the next one.
The lads will know in there themselves that they've missed an opportunity as well.
Oh, without a doubt, we know we've missed an opportunity. Not even them in there, me as well. We all know we're in it together. They've been really, really good in their attitude towards everything that we've put to them over the last few weeks when conditions haven't been ideal. We have to dust ourselves down now. We've got to get ourselves freshened up, ready, train before Boxing Day game, and make sure that we're ready to go again.
Edmo with his arm protected, what can you tell us about
that? He's dislocated his shoulder. The doctor, credit to the Northampton doc, he's popped it back in for him. But we're going to have to go and, I don't know what you do, whether it's a scan or an x-ray, but it's going to have to get something done. Probably have to go and see a consultant about that. It's the first time he's done it. I don't know. I know it's not very good, so we've just got to wait and see.
Mel's, you explained about that pre-kick-off. He's just hurt his knee a little bit, hopefully a little bit.
Yeah, well, he's got bone bruising and a couple of grade 1 sprains around ligaments at the front and the back of the knee. It's settling down. Swelling started to go because he had quite a bit of swelling. That's starting to go. We'll start loading him up. Probably tomorrow, I hope. We'll try and get some work into him. Amari Patrick, we're loading up and trying to get him up to good speed. Ben Barclay's swelling's gone down on his ankle, and we're starting to get him some work through there. So we're starting to look like we could get players fit, but it's a couple of steps backwards with what's happened to Edmo, because I thought he looked a real handful tonight, particularly early on in the first half. He looked a real threat. So I'm really disappointed for him just as he's starting to find his feet and get comfortable in the club. He goes and picks up this tonight.
And on two real positives, Dev, some great touches out there on the pitch. Joel Senior on the bench, that's brilliant.
Yeah, great. Dev's going to get fitter and stronger. Joel will as well over time. I said before the game it's maybe a little bit early for putting him in there, but needs must because of the situation we're in. So we'll see. We'll keep working them and just see how they go.
Thanks, Paul.